there and welcome back, where today we're going to be talking about Louder by Roselia, because this suggestion has come up a lot. And I don't mean so much in the community suggestions as just the fact this has come up a lot as a suggestion on my YouTube. So seemingly Google really wants me to listen to the song. Now, we have listened to Roselia before a long time ago, and in fact we have been paying a little bit of occasional attention to the whole Bang Dream groups roster. I mean, obviously we checked out Silent Siren, which led us to Poppin' Party, and then we did a whole Bang Dream weekend a few years ago, and picked up on groups like Razor Swellen, who we've checked out a few times since. So it's actually, the whole Bang Dream thing is something I'd like to check out more if there is community support to do so. But Roselia is one of those groups who, I must admit, just for no particular reason, haven't really come back too much like Poppin' Party, and so this was a great opportunity to do so. Now, the song Louder, as you can imagine, it's got a feeling that it's going to be one of their rockier songs, and it certainly is a rock song to kick off from. This is a song that has that usual sort of dramatic sound that we expect from, like with Razor Swellen, from that sort of Swillen, from that sort of Poppin' Party dramatic stage show kind of, everything has a feeling almost like it's a soundtrack, and this is definitely one of those, and with a real hard rock edge. Again, we've got another singer who really sings with a sort of a depth. It's not the sort of thin poppy singing that you'd get from your sort of more AKB style groups, so there's a lot to really get your teeth into here. But one of the things that really grabbed me straight away is, a lot like, again, Razor Swellen, we're talking about a band here who has keyboard work. Now, I don't know how many keyboard players Roselia have, apologies if I've forgotten, someone told me or I saw before, but we've definitely got a very distinct synth going on here, which is doing the sort of J-poppy job of riffing along with the guitars and adding a different tone. But the piano to me really stood out here. Now, I like a good bit of piano anyway, because piano, well, it adds colour to pretty much any form of music. It goes with a lot of contemporary types of music, but as well, you can translate a lot of sort of emotion and feeling through a piano if played properly. And what was very interesting here is that whereas most of the song is mixed in the way that you would expect these kind of more pop-friendly songs to be, where everything's mixed into a slightly narrower EQ band to give room for more sounds to appear, so everything can fit in and you can have a broader range of clear sounds. That is something, by the way, I've covered that before in an explainer video, but when people say, oh, the bands I like, they sound really thin maybe on this recording, often you'll find that's just a recording where more sounds are appearing in the arrangement, and therefore it's just a way to make sure that each sound has its own clarity, give them their own space in the EQ. Thins out the sound, but it does keep everything separate so you don't get too much of a muddy sound. Now, in this case, however, like I say, that's what they've done. I've got no problem with that. I'm all for that. But the piano really gets quite a lot of breathing room in the EQ. I felt that a lot of emotion was triggered through the piano here, whereas often we think of the rhythm sections of bands, which are often the most interesting parts of bands, but they are often sort of mixed to sound in the background. You know, the bass is kind of mixed very much into the deeper end, into the background. The drums, you know, they're mixed around other things as well. Here, the guitar kind of is mixed into the background as well, and it's very much the singer and the piano that to me come across as the main leading items that your ears are drawn to in this song. And in that sense, I think they did a fantastic job, because the piano again is very emotionally delivered and makes a nice counter to the vocal and the rhythm and guitar work happening underneath, or the vocals over the top, obviously. So for me, this was a sonically very interesting song, and it was backed up by having a good bit of songwriting as well. But I must jump onto the fact that that chorus, it's a good chorus, but it immediately reminded of, now, you know when you hear something and it reminds you of another song? Some people are already going to know where I'm going with this. When that happens, it always becomes very hard to remember what the song is that you're being reminded of, because you've still got the fresh song stuck in your head. But I'm pretty sure it's a Silent Siren song, because it had the exact same chorus, the da 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 da, and then immediately a backing vocal do, 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 underneath it. Please, I think that was a bad enough impression that I'm not going to get copyright blocked for that. But that chorus melody with the call and answer, I definitely know another song that has that, and I'm pretty sure it's a Silent Siren one. Please get in the comments and tell me, break me from the pain of not being able to remember what the name of that song is. But yeah, this chorus, I've heard it before. I liked it in the other song as well. I'm going to assume it was a mistake or a coincidence. If it was a Silent Siren one, if it wasn't Silent Siren, it was definitely another Bang Dream band. But anyway, so yeah, it's definitely come from somewhere close to home. But yeah, I've heard that chorus before. So I felt a little bit strange hearing it again in this song. But if we were to just assume that's a coincidence, it is a good chorus. They wrap it up nicely. The other thing as well, which sets these sorts of groups sets them apart from what you consider to be your normal pop acts in a sort of more generic way. Not necessarily so much focusing on a lot of Japanese pop acts that are very good, but is that the verses don't just serve as a lazy way to get you back round to the next chorus. And this is one of the things I think is primarily very good about Bang Dream. Bang Dream obviously is kind of focused, I feel, because it's very anime-centric. I think it's focused at a younger audience. Bugs everywhere. I know that they do have an anime which is all like the sort of chibi kids versions of Bang Dream bands. And they've got video games and everything, which I believe is the central thing that started it all off. So there is clearly a kids focus, but again, it's one of those things that I love in Japan is they have kids focused music, which is still about good music. It's not just about, who's going to do the great chorus that will save the day. It's like, no, who's actually got a really good band? And this comes across here in the verses and the bridge. The bridge is not a hugely standout one, but really, if we just take everything that happens between the choruses here, there's a sense that it's always sort of flowing. It's never just repeating the same lines. There's always a change in the arrangement, instruments dropping in and out. I liked how in that second verse you had the piano really came more to the forefront and other instruments gave it even more room. There was just sort of a lot of movement in the arrangement. And that to me is a sign that there's a lot of love, care and attention goes into writing these songs. Now, I'm not 100% certain yet actually whether the Bang Dream artists actually write their own songs. I've got to be honest, even if they say on paper that they do, I'm sure that there's a lot of company support in it, but nothing against that. I've never had any problem with bands who don't write their own songs. It's just an interesting factor. However, these are songs that definitely have the love, care and attention given to them, or at least they're just written by someone who's so good they can make it seem that way. I thought this was great. It really, to me, gives the impression of a band who have a lot of quality. I think almost everything we've heard from Bang Dream artists, to me, just you kind of almost can't believe where they're coming from. No disrespect to the format or anything, but you almost can't believe where they're coming from because they just sound like genuinely really good bands. But they also have that J-pop sound infused in them, which is kind of fun. I like that. It's not just, here's another guitar band. It's like, no, here's a guitar band who, they have those synth pop sounds, that sort of saw synth sound that we heard in this, which, those sounds don't really come up so much in Western pop music anymore because they're sort of felt to be very out of date and very sort of almost 80s, but they're used a lot in Japanese pop still, and I like that. And it comes up here, and then they're willing to throw in the piano. They're willing to have all of those sounds that are a little bit more, just a little bit more poppy, a little bit more fun, a little bit more crazy, while still delivering a song that feels like it's got some depth, it's got some balls. There's a fly right on top of my camera. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. So, anyway, those are my thoughts. I really enjoyed this. I'm definitely interested in checking out some more Roselia. So if anyone's got any suggestions, please let me know. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these, I'll be reading your comments. But until then, for now, ciao, ciao. Go away, fly. Oh, now I'm dying.